Hey guys, my name is Matt Goldsman, and welcome to the first episode of TV Talk. That's right, Matt Watches Chalk is back, and not only am I watching Chalk, I'm now watching TV. So to not be too long, basically, I've been watching a lot of TV lately. And as you know from my gaming channel, I also like reviewing things. Therefore, I thought, why not take the next logical step and review TV shows? I mean, how different could it be from reviewing a game? Now, just to let you guys know, the only two times I'll really make a video about a show is A, for the premiere of that show, or B, after the finale, wherein I'll review the show as a whole. Also, a decent portion of the things I'm going to review will probably be anime. So if you're not into that sort of thing, sorry. But with that being said, what better way to start off the show than with a review of Sherlock? Now, for those of you who don't know, Sherlock is a British television show that's an adaptation of the character Sherlock Holmes brought into the modern era. What's really unique and interesting about this show is that they only have one season every 2 years, and each season only has 3 episodes in it. So it's not that committing of a watch, but at the same time, each episode is also an hour and a half long. So every episode is basically its own movie, which is actually kind of cool when you go and think about it. You almost have like 9 mini movies of Sherlock, but it's actually a series, which is cool. So I basically watched all 3 seasons of the show right after season 3 came out because everyone was talking about it. The first 2 seasons I thought were absolutely masterful. They were incredibly well done. Benedict Cumberbatch's version of Sherlock as a character is probably my favorite interpretation of him, but I can see how it would get on a lot of people's nerves because he kind of has that snarmy, know-it-all kind of attitude, and that gets on a lot of people's nerves. Like, my roommate came by and saw me watching the show, tried watching for a bit, and got just incredibly irritated with this character. Personally, I love his character, and I love that kind of character in shows. A lot of shows, that sort of personality makes me appeal to that character because it's not done all that often, and when it is done, it's not done all that well. But in Sherlock's case, I think it's done very, very well, and he just comes across as an arrogant prick, which I really like as a character for some reason. The writing is very, very witty, it's very clever, and the plot is beautifully done. The main villain is basically the same for the first 2 seasons, essentially. But then once you get to season 3, they decided to do something different, and I didn't like it nearly as much. Don't get me wrong, it was still a good show, but at the same time, it wasn't nearly as good as the first 2 seasons. It was just sort of like, here's a plot, here's a villain, he could do a lot of damage. He doesn't choose to do a lot of damage, but he could do a lot of damage. Really, the worst thing this villain in the season 3 actually did was become a serial pokist. He just pokes people. It's just his thing. But other than that, he never really did any harm. He knew a lot, he could do harm, he just never did, so it never really felt like there was much on the line, especially with the way they concluded it. It felt a bit extreme and excessive. And then the ending was just sort of like, let's throw it together so we can do this again and get people's interest back, and it just felt like this convoluted, stitched together thing that they just sort of threw in at the last minute. It leaves potential for season 4. They said they're going to do season 4, but the way they threw it together, it could be hit or miss, which is really sad because I really, really, really loved the first 2 seasons of the show. Like I said, season 3 isn't bad. It's just not nearly as good. Not by a long shot. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure how long I want to make these or how in-depth I want to make these, so definitely leave me some feedback down below about what to do. Hell, even tweak the title of this series, because everything's a work in progress for this first episode. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Overall, I would definitely recommend Sherlock for sure. Definitely the first 2 seasons. And if you do watch the first 2 seasons, you're probably just going to want to watch season 3 on your own as is. I'm just warning you, it's not nearly as good. I put links down below where you can watch and download the show. Be sure to check those out if you have any interest in Sherlock at all. I've been Matt Goldsman from MattWatchesChalk. I'll catch you guys next time.